The doctors in the room where I was born all had their mouths open and all. I didn't know how they knew I was going to grow into an astonishing person. At least I know there was no genie telling the future in that cramped up tiny little green room. My parents married in 1880 and my name is Franklin Delanor Roosevelt. FDR for short. When I was born, I was an only child and I remained an only child for my entire life. I absolutely loved sledding, collecting stamps, and especially sailing. In fact, at age 16, my father bought me my own boat, the New Moon. At school, I was considered a spoiled child. My parents got me everything I wanted, and I lived in a mansion. I wish I was still a child. Life was busiest in my teenage years. I entered Groton boarding school 2 years late, thanks to my protective mother. Not to brag, but I was an amazing writer, probably the best in New York State. In 1900, many things, both good and bad, occurred. I finally graduated from Groton, but unfortunately, my loving father died. Thankfully, he left enough money for me to enter harder. I enjoyed playing football and was a miraculous student. And though it was supposed to take 4 years to complete college, I did it in 3. But boy, I was not about to waste an entire year of college, so I became the writer of Harvard School newspaper. After all, I did love to write. Most importantly, I met Eleanor, my future wife. My mom was completely against the fact that I wanted to marry her. Little did I know my life was about to greatly change. In my adult years, before I was elected president, I had a very successful political life. On March 17, 1905, I married Eleanor. Directly after that, I got a job on Wall Street. Eleanor and I had 6 children. One day I was begged to run for Senate, but immediately denied it because I thought I was too young. Then came the day when my life was almost swept away. The doctor looming over me thought I had a severe cold, but I was later diagnosed with polio at age 39. However, I discovered I could swim and attracted many others to a pool. I had to wear steel braces on my legs, which were probably the most uncomfortable things ever. In the 1920s, James Cox asked me to run for vice president, and even though he lost, the amusing experience inspired me to run. As you'll learn, my life in office was miraculous. I was elected for the first time in 1932. Therefore, I was president during the Great Depression. It was a devastating time, so I had to create a new act to try to solve it. Sure enough, with my mastermind, it was successful, though my term was over. In 1936, I crushed my next election opponent to become president again. But this term wasn't going to be as action-packed as my next one. I was elected for the 3rd time in 1940, and during it, World War II started. It was a tough time for everyone, but we made it through. In 1945, I ran for my 4th term and won, but died after the 1st year from a lung disease. Without me, we might still be living in vain from World War II and suffering from the great times of the Great Depression.